Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is your boy Brian with another Brian Speaks On. Wanted to get into a topic that's been kind of catching my attention lately, but has been prevalent for quite a while, ever since the phenomena of social media has really, taken over everybody's day-to-day life. Wanted to talk about the lack of etiquette, social media etiquette, and the boost in hubris when it comes to people on social media. And this is a subject that a lot of people talk about. It's also a subject that I don't really understand how people can't get a grasp of when they exercise their hubris towards others. I mean, it's not like it was a brand new thing to find out that people have very strong and varying opinions on stuff. And so when one takes their hubris out on somebody else, it just kind of it's almost as if they were shocked to hear that someone has a very strong anti-view of something that they might find normal. But it's just you especially see it on Facebook and Twitter for the most part, but just all varying forms of social media. Things that you also you from people who are a little bit older and come from a little different era. It's one of those things that you'll hear them say, well, if you were sitting in front of me, you wouldn't be saying what you're saying, because you might catch one, you know, so to speak. But on social media, everybody is more or less, you're not dealing face to face with people, so you don't feel the fear of repercussion or backlash on anything other than reading something back from someone. So it's like, if words don't hurt you, then you just say whatever you want. Now me, I pretty much say whatever I want, how I want it. But the thing that I do very much strongly practice with myself is to make sure that I hold that onto my wall, you know. And if I'm saying what I want on my wall and how I want it, I expect to be, treated respectfully for that. Now, that's not to say that I expect no one to disagree with me, or I expect no one to even challenge me on some of my viewpoints. But I do expect to be respected about that. And that's it's a common theme on the internet. You see people post things saying pretty much a very similar thing. They expect their beliefs and their whatever's to be respected. So, when someone has this hubris, I just don't understand that. People don't respect other people's boundaries on social media. Whereas if you were in a different setting where you had to deal with a person, physically near them or whatever, there would be more of a respect for boundaries. So it's a little strange. When I say something, I speak on a political topic, let's say, and my opinion is very convinced in one aspect. I do have people every once in a while come with a very strongly worded, counter opinion to that. And again, I'm good for that. I love people that know me know I love a debate. People don't like debating with me because when I debate, I debate. But I can deal with that. What I can't deal with is people thinking that they somehow are my moral authority and want to come with a judgmental slant in their counter opinion. That, me personally, I don't allow that. I will be quick to say something in a very strong way that will very much discourage the person from even wanting to be my friend anymore, probably. But and everybody that knows me knows I'm an equal opportunity, smasher. Doesn't matter what the relation. But again, it's the lack of respect for boundaries that bothers me, and people don't understand what a person's personal page is about. It seems like, I always I used to hear the argument of, well, if you post it, it's for everybody to see, so it's for everybody to judge, and they can say whatever they want because you're saying whatever you want. Well, that's kind of like saying, if I'm on my property and I'm treating my property the way that I want to treat it, then that allows whoever can see my property to throw stones on it, to throw rocks at my property. And that doesn't apply. That doesn't fly, being on social media and having a wall of your own basically gives you intellectual property. That's what they call it. It's your intellectual property. And you see the word property. Property in the sense of it being like virtual property. You're in a virtual reality. This is your virtual property. So this is like me saying this is my virtual house, and don't tread upon my virtual lawn the wrong way, or you might get your virtual foot shot off. If people, I think, treated it in the same kind of manner or perspective, it might kind of hold some people back. Maybe it's just a small, tiny fraction of people. Probably not, though, because again, the hubris of it all is that people feel, a sense of empowerment online that they may not feel in other areas. And that's not to say that people don't have no life and they wimps in real life and stuff like that. No, it's not, it may not be that serious, but at the same time, when you see people come with these real strongly worded moral convictions and just basically belittling people on other people's walls, it's not like you were invited to answer and that was your answer. It's like you just made it your theme, you just made it your goal to go on someone else's wall and try to show them up and play them or whatever and make them look bad. I don't understand how people can have time in their life to devote to do stuff like that, for one thing. I don't see how people cannot respect the fact that other people have other varying viewpoints on something, especially the fact that if you're going to come at somebody and you're not even coming at them with something that's changing their perspective, you're just basically coming to insult them and be a troll. That's basically your whole point. Like, you just don't like what they have to say and you want to call them or whatever, a derogatory word, or just basically bark on them, and you're not even succeeding in making them look at what they're saying and go, maybe I have to look at that. All you're doing is just antagonizing people and making them feel even more strongly supportive of what it is that they're talking about. Like, again, one of the things that I like to tell people on my wall is, like, if you're gonna come at me, you best come correct, And I don't mean just in the way that you word what you say, but if I'm speaking about something and I'm speaking with a very strong conviction about it and I got a strong dogma attached to it, that means that it's coming from a lot of factual understanding of what it is that I'm talking about. So I'm not just speaking about stuff because it's my strong opinion. It's a strong opinion that has been built on a foundation of very strong fact that has shaped that opinion. So if you're going to come with a counter opinion to that, you best come with some very strong facts that come along with that, and don't come with this whole mantra of moral authority, or like you are somehow my moral judge, because you will get verbally put on blast or keyboarded, or whatever. You're going to have to read some real strong words in response, that's for sure. And again, I don't do that on other people's wall. I see people post stuff that I find absolutely nauseating and depressing sometimes, in the sense of it. People's logic astounds me. I can't wrap my mind around what other people seem to find complete total common sense and logical. I can't. I just don't understand. But such is the beauty of the diversity. And who am I to get at them on their wall about what they believe in? Who am I? Unless I'm coming at them with something that shows with irrefutably that what I'm saying is, something that needs to be heeded to. And even in that regard, I still don't come at them in a certain way. Like, I'm not gonna come on somebody's wall like I'm Rick James in their couch. Like, you gonna hear what I got to say, and F you if you don't. You're an idiot. No, it's like, come on, man. How you don't respect somebody else on such a basic level. But I think that, people really need to turn down the volume on their hubris, and stop. One thing that I always like to say about myself too is people need to not make themselves as important as what they think they are. You're not as important as what you think, especially when it comes to people who have never met you, and probably never will meet you. And the only way that they know you is through the internet. You know, stop thinking that you're so important. You know, I don't think that I'm so important that I can just roll up on somebody else's wall and tell them about theyself and how they thinking is wrong and blah blah blah. I get on my wall, I put information out there, and that's pretty much it. You are free to digest and disseminate that information as you will. And if you don't, then maybe you have a certain dissonance or whatever, or maybe what I'm just saying just don't make sense to you, and that's fine. I can live with that. But again, the hubris, just in my opinion, needs to tone down. People need to be a little bit more respectful, because without respect, there is no dialogue. And where there is no dialogue, there is no building of bridges. There is no common bonding. Things will continue to remain in a splintered fashion, and that only serves to benefit those who control this whole structure. So, with that being said, I respectfully disagree with those who I disagree with, but I will respect them regardless. And I only ask that you do the same. And with that, until the next Brian Speaks On, I hope this entertained y'all for a few minutes and you got something out of it. Alright? Everybody take care. Bless up. Later.